just here with Jack from the Hemel Stags. Jack, how's preparations looking for the new season? You're obviously enjoying the coaching ranks at Hemel.
Yeah, no, it's going well. We've had our first proper friendly on Saturday, which was up and down. I mean, we showed some good patches and we struggled a little bit in certain areas, but getting all the lads together, playing together is important for us because we've had lots of new signings and a lot of change going on.
You've obviously been retired since 2013 and been out of the game for 2 years after doing a bit of coaching. What was, I guess, the desire to get back into coaching in a more sort of serious way in rugby league?
Well, I've always been interested in coaching. I've always coached junior teams from being a kid myself, and it's always sort of an ambition for me to get into coaching. So it kind of fell on my lap really with the Hemel thing. I'm from Hemel, which is very important to me. And I was contacted by Dean Thomas to let me know when he got the head coaching role to let me know that they were moving the training base to Sheffield, and then he asked me if I wanted to be involved, and it sort of made sense with me being from Hemel and living in Sheffield. It's sort of hard to turn down really.
Obviously, the move to Dewsbury 12-18 months ago was a controversial one. Can you talk about, I guess, the move through to Sheffield now, and I guess the linking up in South
Yeah,
Yorkshire?
I mean, I think everyone involved with the club knows it's not ideal having a training base so far away from where we play and from the town we're representing. It's sort of a needs-must scenario. It was very controversial when it happened at Dewsbury, and from the fans' point of view, I don't think the results last year sort of reflected that to be a positive move. We are getting closer to Hemel. We sort of moved a bit further south, down to Sheffield. And I think it was more just a decision that was made to have the right sort of quality of players playing that competition. It's no disrespect to the people that are in Hemel or play at Hemel, but I just don't think they're producing enough players that have the quality to play at that level. I mean, undoubtedly they produce players that are good enough to play at that level, and have done over the years, even at higher levels at Super League and international levels of players that played or come through the Hemel sort of systems. Yeah, and Kieran Dixon. I mean, you've got Jamie Acton, lots of people really that have come through, and either played Championship, Super League, or even League One. So, I mean, I'm not criticising the development pathways in Hemel. It's very hard for them not being able to draw from other areas. Whereas if you were, say, to look at a team like Bradford or a team like Halifax, and how many of their players have come all the way through the Halifax systems or the Bradford systems? A number of them have, but they can also draw on players from Huddersfield, from other close towns from where they play. Where Hemel don't have that luxury really. You either produce the players from your own small town, or you have to look elsewhere, or look to rugby union players, which is it's hard for them to sort of adapt quickly to that sort of level.
And as you mentioned, you are originally from Hemel. You grew up there, and obviously moved up to Sheffield for university. Played for the Eagles for many years. Won Championship Grand Finals and played for Scotland in the World Cup. But Hemel is something that you're close to, and you obviously want to see the game develop there.
100%. I mean, Hemel's had a good rugby league team there since I was born. I think 1981 it was they first started up, and they've had some great players come through there and done really, really well over the years. And obviously being from Hemel and wanting them to do well, I always check their results and throughout the years and see where they've been going. And I mean, Bob Brown, the chairman's got a lot of ambition of what he wants to do with the club, and he's driving it forward really.
Obviously, League One's got a different look. Toronto sort of swept through last year, and we've seen sort of Gloucester and the other team that are Oxford are obviously gone by the wayside. So, what's your thoughts on League One and looking at the future? Because obviously there's a lot of conjecture. We don't know what's happening at the top level, what's happening with the direction of the game. It seems a fair gap between sort of the big clubs and the smaller clubs. What's your take on that?
It's a tough competition for development clubs to be in. I mean, you've got lots of established teams in there, likes of York, likes of Hunslet and Bradford, obviously, who are undoubtedly going to be at the top of the table. And I mean, and there's half the division are development teams. When I say development teams, not about the quality. It's more about the areas they're in, where they're not traditionally rugby league areas. But I think the gap is getting smaller between them as the years go on. I know that we've got a very good squad this year, and I'll be very surprised if us personally, we see the score lines that he did last year, and the league position did last year. And I'm sure it's the same for the other squads.